Here's a big secret that seems obvious, but that no one talks about. This tiny clue is a huge flashing red light that's going to tell you if the young Filipina you met is for real or if you're walking into a trap. The clue is if... Welcome to Smart Girl Philippines. I'm Irish, and the topic of today's Short Talk is the young Filipina trap. 7 girls you'll encounter. When you show up in the Philippines looking for a girlfriend or wife, you've got a tough decision to make. Are you gonna go for a young Filipina or an older Filipina? When I say young, I mean a Filipina who is 18 or 19 years old. And before you judge someone for trying to date or marry a young Filipina, you need to understand that here in the Philippines, most Filipinas don't wait until they're in their 30s to get married and have kids. We get started much younger here. It's not uncommon for an 18 or 19-year-old here to already have a baby. Generally speaking, it's incredibly rare to find a good Filipina who's older than 26 or 27, who's never been married and had kids. I said rare. I didn't say they don't exist. I'm just saying that your odds are going to be 1,000 times harder to find a single Filipina with no baggage at 26 or 27 than you are at 18 or 19. And let's not kid ourselves. The fantasy is the young, fresh, ripe coconut straight from the tree, not the older coconut that you buy at the store. It's hard to find a good coconut at the store once everyone has picked through them all. But as you learn in this episode, getting the fresh coconut from the tree has its own set of unique challenges and traps. So in today's episode, I want to share with you the 7 traps you might encounter in your search for a young Filipina. So let's get started. Young Filipina trap number 1. She has a boyfriend. And I'm talking about just a random boyfriend. I mean, she has a serious boyfriend that she's never going to leave, and she has zero interest in actually being in a relationship with a foreigner. She is just looking for one thing: money. So she sets up an online dating profile. She created a second Facebook profile that she make it look like she's single. She starts chatting with guys and reeling them in. Maybe she plays the short game and tries to get as many guys as she can to send her money. Or maybe she plays the long game and tries to establish a deeper connection with 1 or 2 guys to go after bigger money. There's several ways to identify this trap. Obviously, her Facebook is going to be a huge clue. If she's a normal Filipina, she'll have a Facebook with pictures of her friends and family, and it'll seem normal. But if her Facebook account is just selfies and quotes, and it says she works at the Krusty Krab, then that's your first clue. Next, you can try searching for her name or combinations of her name to see if she has a different Facebook account. Sometimes it's easy to find and you put it up and bingo, she got pics with another guy. Sometimes it's harder to find because maybe she blocked you from her other Facebook account or she locked her real profile. Another way to spot this trap is if she's unavailable for video calls at night or in the morning. If she can only video call with you during the day, then she's probably got something spicy going on. Another way would be showing up in real life. If she meets you and you get to meet her family and friends, then it's a green light. But if she's not where her profile says she actually is, and she doesn't have free time to meet you, or she wants to meet you far away from where she actually lives, then that means ding 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 ding, she got a boyfriend. The odds of finding an 18-year-old online who is beautiful and single is going to be incredibly rare. If I had to put a number on it, I would say that 95% of Filipinas online are going to have someone courting them or have a boyfriend. She's not married and she's curious what other options are out there. Hey, that's okay. That's how dating works. But the trick is going to be trying to figure out if she's actually curious and being genuine with you, or if she's just playing games to get money. Young Filipina trap number 2. She's being controlled by other people. It could be her sister or her aunt, another family member, or even a friend. She's young and other people don't want to see her get taken advantage of. But quite often they will overstep their boundaries and start trying to control every aspect of her life, making dating or courtship impossible. They will try to dictate when you can hang out, where, how often, and they are going to tell you what you can and can't do. This one sucks. How to spot this trap? The easiest way to spot this is that the girl will insist that she brings someone on the first date, and she will keep insisting that this person comes on all your dates. Also, this person might attempt to directly chat with you or even chat with you through the Filipinas account. I talked to one foreigner who said the entire time he thought he was chatting with an 18-year-old. It turned out to be the older sister he was chatting with, and she was controlling everything. So a good way to figure this out is to do video call instead. Another way you'll know this is a trap is that there's going to be too much friction with every decision you make. It's normal for older family members to want to help a younger Filipina to make good decisions. But if a Filipina has no real autonomy and someone is trying to control her, then you're in a no-win situation. And your best bet is to move on. She's too young to understand what's going on, and you have no chance of competing with one of her family members. Young Filipina trap number 3. She's a catspaw. This means she's being used by her parents to get money. So this Filipina is the opposite of that last Filipina. This girl is not being controlled at all. She has total freedom. And she's going to be a lot of fun to be with. Her parents want her to date you, so of course, she'll meet you for dates. She might stay with you at your hotel. She might even travel with you. And everything is going to be super easy. There's only one problem. It's all a trap. And the parents and family members are using her to get money from you. She only has one job, to drain your balls while the family drains your bank account. She'll start making little requests for money, and sometimes it turns into the foreigner paying off debts and building a house for her family. Hey, it happens all the time here. That's the power of Filipino pussy. How to spot this trap? Unlike the last girl, where everything was hard, for this trap, everything will seem way too easy. And then, the requests and sympathy stories and emergencies will begin. Now, if you're dating a young Filipina, it's one thing to buy her or her family Jollibee or give her money for phone load or to help buy her clothes or even help her pay for college. But if any significant amount of money is going from you to her family through her, then she's being used as a catspaw. And I have really bad news for you. It's never going to stop. And once it does, the relationship will end because you're not giving any money. Hey, it's true. Young Filipina trap number 4. She doesn't want to use a condom. And that's because she's trying to get pregnant as soon as possible. And she does it as long as it's a foreigner with money. And once she gets pregnant, the party is over. Now, remember, she's young and dumb, so she doesn't yet understand how hard and expensive it is to actually have a baby at a young age. And she doesn't understand that the foreigner could just take off. If your name isn't on the birth certificate, and there's no DNA test, and there's no proof that you had a relationship, then you aren't legally required to pay for anything. But, like I said, she's dumb. How to spot this trap? She will want to get a cream pie from you right away. Duh! It sounds fun and exciting, but guys, if this happens on your first date, it's not a good thing. Another way to spot it is if she gets mad if you don't take the bait. I talked to a foreigner who met an 18-year-old and she insisted on not using protection on their first date, but he wouldn't take the bait. She got mad, and that ended the relationship. She went out with another foreigner the same week, and he took the bait, and she got pregnant and had a baby 9 months later. And that guy was just a means to an end for her to get a baby and get a money. Kinda scary. So yes, generally speaking, Filipinos don't like using condom. And yes, we want to have babies when we're young. But slow the fuck down. At the very minimum, go on a few days first and make sure you're not walking into a total dumpster fire. Young Filipina chap number 5. She's exploring the concept of gold digging. She's young and she's beautiful, and she started to figure out that she can use her looks and her body to get money. She's not a bad person, and she's not running a scam. She's just experimenting and hitting buttons and throwing spaghetti against the wall to see what sticks because, hey, she's young. She sends a sexy photo and ding dong, a guy sends her 1,000 pesos. Now, a light bulb goes off in her brain. Time to send more photos to more guys. Maybe a foreigner is in town for 2 weeks. She goes on a date with him and shows him a great time, and he buys her an iPhone. That guy leaves town and now he's sending her money, but he's gone. She's horny and life has to work, so she goes out with the next guy who shows up. And she has fun again. And he buys her a new scooter before he leaves town. Maybe the next guy gives her enough money so she can quit her job. And on this goes. She's slowly figuring out how to dig for gold, sneaky bitch. How to spot this trap? Here's a big secret that seems obvious, but that no one talks about. This tiny clue is a huge flashing red light that's going to tell you if the young Filipina you met is for real or if you're walking into a trap. The clue is if she, drumlot, has an iPhone. Duh! How the fuck would an 18-year-old Filipina have an iPhone? The daily wage in the Philippines for an 18-year-old is less than $1 an hour. That would take her literally years of work to be able to afford. So if that young Filipina you just met has an iPhone 16, then I've got bad news for you. The other clue that she's playing around with the idea of being a gold digger is that she'll be super interested in trips and shopping and eating out, but she'll shut down at any talk of being in a committed relationship. Now, hey, real talk. Why should a Filipina give up the milk for free? Shouldn't she get something out of it? I mean, most foreigners are just coming here to pump and dump. So, isn't she just being smart, trying to at least get what she wants so she can have a better future? Yes and no. Yes, if it means being in a committed relationship. After all, she's trading her sexual opportunity with you for goods and resources. That's how it works everywhere in the world. No matter where you are, you have to bring something to the table. So yes, this is normal, but when it turns into a trap is when she figures out that she can 10x her value by doing this with 10 guys instead of 1. Sausage party! Young Filipina trap number 6. The immature Filipina, also known as a crazy bitch. This Filipina is a young and beautiful, but unfortunately any attempts at having a relationship with her are going down in flames. It is what it is. How to spot this trap? First, there's going to be a lot of unsent messages on Messenger or WhatsApp. There will probably be a lot of chat games, tons of messages getting upset with you while chatting, and it's just going to get worse from there. She says she loves you right away. She's hot 1 minute and cold the next. Maybe she has 3 Facebook accounts, or maybe her Facebook profile is just a dumpster fire of emotional shit. One day she has sex with you, and the next day she ghosts you. Whatever it is, you'll know. Trust me, you'll know. And rule number 1 for foreigners in the Philippines is never put your big dick in crazy. So avoid this trap at all costs, even if it feels really good for a few seconds. Young Filipina trap number 7, the fugazi. So, what's a fugazi? Remember the restaurant scene in Wolf of Wall Street when Matthew McConaughey said to Leonardo DiCaprio, "Nobody knows if a stock is going to go up, down, sideways, or in fucking circles, at least of all stockbrokers, right?" It's all a fugazi. You know what a fugazi is? It's a fake. Fugazi, fugazi, it's a wazi, it's a woozy. It's a fairy dust. It doesn't exist. It's never landed. It's no matter. It's not on the elemental chart. It's not fucking real. So, this is a Filipina who might seem too busy. Maybe she has no free time, but because she's bored, she's playing around with online dating. You're never going to get past the chat zone with her. I mean, who knows? Maybe she's a lesbian. I mean, maybe she's not even real. Whatever it is, she's a fugazi. 1 minute, she's here in the province. The next minute, she's someone else. 1 minute, she's bored. The next minute, she's too busy for 2 weeks. Maybe by some miracle, you get a date with her. And then, poof, she's gone. And you don't hear from her for a month. Maybe she's awesome. Maybe she's incredible. Maybe she never asks for money and there's nothing wrong with her. Maybe she really is a catch. But this might be the worst trap of them all because nothing is ever going to happen. She'll string you along for years, but she's never going too close. And you're never going to know why. The other trap you can easily sniff out, but this one is going to eat up all your time. Getting scammed is one thing, because you can always get more money, but you can't get more time. So my best advice is to avoid the fugazis at all costs. How to spot this trap? Guys, listen up. This is the totally obvious sign that it's a trap, and once you see it, you're never going to be able to unsee it. And I can guarantee you never heard this before because I've never heard anyone say this before. The biggest clue is that she never actually chats with you in real time. She trades messages with you, but she never actually chats with you. She'll exchange messages just enough to keep you on the hook, but she's never going to engage with you in a real-time chat typing back and forth. Do you see it now? Aha! It's totally obvious, isn't it? She's a fugazi! Let me conclude by saying that if you can find a young Filipino who is good, then you found a real treasure and take good care of her. How do you know it's not a trap? Well, it's not going to be too hard and it's not going to be too easy. She'll be a little immature, but she's going to have a good attitude and be serious about the relationship. If she's normal, she'll need money and she'll want a better life for her family, but she's not going to ask you for big money or try to drain your bank account. She probably wants to start a family, but she's not going to be in such a hurry that it throws up any red flags. She's going to be busy, but not so busy that she doesn't have time for you. And of course, she's going to want a new iPhone, but she'll be content with a simple $100 phone as well because she understands the value of money. I made a separate video called The Older Filipino Trap where I explain the traps you'll encounter trying to date older Filipinas so you can understand the challenges on both sides. My personal opinion is that if you can, try to date and marry younger Filipinas. Generally speaking, because of basic math. The older a Filipina gets, the busier she's going to get. The more kids she's going to have, the more of a chance she'll have been married, and the less flexibility she's going to have in her life and even in her thinking. But there are some really good older Filipinas here, and if you can find one, then it's going to be awesome. But it's just going to be more of a wild goose chase. What do you think? Please let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, you may consider signing up for my free weekly newsletter called SMART 123. Every Thursday, you receive an email with 3 ideas about love, 2 ways to be smart in life and business, and 1 bit of personal Filipina life advice from me. Just click the link in the description below to try it out. It's free, and you can unsubscribe at any time. And as usual, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for the good luck of the Philippines.